Good morning, students. Myself Pradeep Kumar, PGT Physics, Kendriya Vidyalaya Jhunjhunu, and I am today going to explain about the topic equipotential surfaces from the second chapter of class 12th Physics, and the title of the chapter is Electric Potential and Capacitance. So before going to equipotential surfaces, we need to revise some points about electric potential, which is the property of electric field, and it represents the strength of electric field. Electric potential is a scalar quantity, and it is defined by the work done in bringing a unit positive charge from infinite to a point in electric field. When we bring the charge from infinite to different points in electric field, the work done may be different, so potential of points may be different, may be same. And if there is a difference in the potential of 2 points, then we denote it by potential difference. This potential difference concept is very useful in flowing charge from one point to another, because charge only flows due to potential difference, and that is why we use batteries and cells to flow current in the circuits, where charge of the conductors flows due to the potential difference applied by the battery. So these are some of the points regarding potential and potential difference. When a charge is placed in space or a charge configuration is placed, then the potential near to these configurations or charges may be same or may be different. If these are same, there are some points where potentials are same, and if we join these points near the charge, then we get some surfaces, and these surfaces are called equipotential surfaces. So as the name suggests, the surface at which every point have same potential are called equipotential surfaces. The potential difference between 2 points on this surface is always zero, since potential is same. These surfaces are obtained by joining the points of same potential near a charge or charge configuration, and the shapes of these surfaces can be different for different type of charge configurations. It may be spherical, it may be dumbbell shape, it may be planes. So many type of surfaces we obtain near the charges. So we are going to study these shapes regarding equipotential surfaces. So first of all, we take a unit positive charge, and the electric field lines are outwards for this charge, and we can draw equipotential surfaces for this charge. Before drawing these surfaces, we study the equipotential surfaces of uniform electric field. Uniform electric field is represented by equidistant parallel lines, and the equipotential surfaces of these lines are the planes perpendicular to the direction of electric field. These surfaces are equally spaced and are represented by V1, V2 and V3. These are always perpendicular to the direction of electric field. This property will be considered in the later section of this lesson. So if we draw the equipotential surfaces of this isolated charge as shown in the figure, the equipotential surfaces are obtained as concentric spheres, and the distance or gap between these surfaces goes on increasing in the direction of electric field, since potential is also reducing in the direction of electric field. So we get these type of surfaces. The distance between equipotential surfaces represents the strength of electric field. That is, electric field near the charge is strong, and when we go away from the charge, the electric field becomes weaker and weaker. So equipotential surfaces are also farther from each other. So this property will also be proved in the later section of this lesson. If we consider a negative charge, then also the equipotential surfaces are concentric spheres, and the only difference is that here electric field lines are towards the charge, and rare if we consider an electric dipole which consists of positive and negative charges, then these red lines represents the electric field lines, and these purple lines represents equipotential surfaces for this electric dipole. Here we see that equipotential surfaces are nearly spherical near the charge and gets deformed as we move away from the charge, and just in between the charges a surface is obtained which is perpendicular to the direction of electric field here, and at this surface the potential of all points is zero, since potential of positive charge is positive here and negative charge is negative and same in magnitude, so these cancel each other or their effect is zero, so we get a surface that is shown here at which potential is zero, and other surfaces are shown in the figure. The gap is lesser and lesser in between the charges between equipotential surfaces, and that is due to the reason that electric field is strong here because it add up due to both the charges, same direction electric field. And when we see the equipotential surfaces in the right side of negative charge and in the left of positive charge, we see that gap is increasing. This is due to the decreasing electric field in this space because electric field of both the charges reduces or cancels each other. So we get this type of equipotential surfaces for a electric dipole. If we see the two identical positive charges, then equipotential surfaces are somewhat different from an electric dipole. Here gap between equipotential surfaces is increasing in between the charges and decreases in the side of the charges, and these spheres gets deformed as we move away from the charges, and at last it acquires dumbbell shape. So these are some of the shapes of equipotential surfaces. Now we are going to study here the some of the properties of equipotential surfaces. The first and most important property is that no work is done in moving a test charge from one point to another on equipotential surface. So this property can be proved by using the definition of potential difference, that is Vb minus Va equal to Wab upon Q0. Since A and B lies on same equipotential surface, so Va is equal to Vb, hence potential difference is 0 and work done is also equal to 0. Hence no work is done in moving a charge. The second property here is that the electric field is always perpendicular to the direction of equipotential surfaces, and this we denote in the figures also, where in case of uniform electric field these are the planes perpendicular to the direction of electric field. So this property can also be proved by using the definition of work done, which is given by force into displacement or electric field into displacement for a unit charge, and by taking its value to 0, we can show that angle between E and DL is 90 degree, and DL represents the section of equipotential surface and E represents electric field. So we can say that equipotential surfaces are perpendicular to the direction of electric field. The third property is that equipotential surfaces indicate regions of strong or weak electric fields, that we had shown in the figures also, where the electric field is strong, then equipotential surfaces are crowded, and in the regions of weak electric field the gap between equipotential surfaces is large. This property can be proved by taking the relation between E and V, that is given by E equal to minus dV by dr. Here dV by dr is potential gradient and it is a vector quantity, so it becomes equal to negative of electric field intensity, which is also a vector. So dr can be written like this, and if potential difference is constant, then we can say that dr is inversely proportional to E. Hence E is large. When E is large, then dr is small. So gap is less between equipotential surfaces at strong electric fields and vice versa. The last most property is that two equipotential surfaces never intersect each other. This is because of the reason that equipotential surfaces have different potentials at their points. So if they cancel each other at a point, then there are two values of potential at that point, which is not possible. And this property is related to electric field lines, where we also take that two lines never intersect each other. So same property here for equipotential surfaces. Now by reading or by studying these properties and figures, we are able to answer the questions related to equipotential surfaces. Our first question is that why there is no work done in moving a charge from one point to another on equipotential surface. So we had given answer in the previous slides of this question that potential difference is zero at equipotential surface and work is always done against the potential difference. If there is no potential difference, then work done will be zero. This can also be proved that electric field intensity is in perpendicular direction of displacement as we move the charge on the equipotential surface. So displacement is perpendicular to force or electric field. So force and displacement perpendicular, so work done is zero. The second question here is a figure in which 3 points are located, and these points are positioned in a electric field of magnitude 5 into 10 to the power 3 Newton per Coulomb, and we have to determine potential difference between point B and C and A and C. So B and C potential difference is zero because these lies on the same equipotential surface as we had studied earlier. And to calculate potential difference between point A and C, we can calculate the potential difference between A and B, since B and C are at same potential. So we need to know the distance between AB, which is 4 centimeter from the Pythagoras theorem. And so using the formula of work done, that is equal to force into displacement, and for unit charge we can write it electric field into displacement. So we had given the value of electric field is here 5 into 10 to the power 3 Newton per Coulomb. We place this value here, and displacement, this 4 centimeter, we place here. So by multiplying these two values, we get work done as equal to 200 joule. So this work done is equal to the potential difference between the points A and B, and same will be the potential difference between A and C, that is 200 volt. So in this way we can calculate the potential difference between these points. Now third question is that a point charge of 1 coulomb is placed at the center of a hollow sphere of radius 10 centimeter. Determine amount of work done in moving a 2 coulomb of charge at the surface of the sphere between 2 points separated by a distance of 20 centimeter. So we have to determine the amount of work done on a spherical surface in moving a charge from one point to another. Since charge is located at the center, so this sphere can be assumed as an equipotential surface, and when we move the charge from one point to another on this surface, then no work is done because potential is same everywhere on this surface, so work done is zero. So this is the conceptual question we can solve using the concept of equipotential surfaces. Now the another question is, two charges of 1 microcoulomb and minus 1 microcoulomb are kept at points A and B, which are 5 centimeter apart. Identify an equipotential surface of the system and what is the direction of electric field at every point on this surface. So this is given us an electric dipole. So we have to draw the equipotential surface of an electric dipole, which we had already drawn in the previous slides. So we take it again, and these are the equipotential surfaces of this electric dipole, and the middle one is a plane which is perpendicular to the direction of electric field. So this is the equipotential surface we can choose. And another question is that what is the direction of electric field at this surface. So direction of electric field at this surface is from positive to negative charge, or in this way, because the electric field due to positive charge at any point is outward, and that due to negative charge is inward, so net electric field is in this direction. So we can say that electric field is perpendicular to the surface and from indicates from positive to negative charge. So these are the some of the examples we had solved, and now these are the questions given in the form of worksheet, which easily can be solved by learning the concept of equipotential surfaces. And these questions are draw three equipotential surfaces corresponding to field that uniformly increases in magnitude but remains constant along z direction. How are these surfaces different from that of a constant electric field along z direction? So we have drawn the equipotential surfaces of a constant electric field, and we had seen that the distance between these surfaces is uniform. But in case of non-uniform electric field, which is increasing along positive z direction, uniformly increases in positive z direction. We can draw the surface which are planes, but the gap between these surfaces is not uniform, so we can draw like that. And some other questions can be solved also using the concept of equipotential surfaces. Three questions are here in the next slide. Fifth question is why the equipotential surfaces about a single charge are not equidistant. This is because electric field is decreasing in the direction of electric field, so potential also decreases and the gap also increases. And in this way we can solve all these questions. So I hope that you are able to solve these questions easily, and this is all about the equipotential surfaces. Thank you.